Hi everyone, this is Mr. Wu. I hope you are all healthy and doing well. Last week we started a new paper 4 and it was about top jobs in the world to think about, to consider. Top job means best jobs. This week we will continue to work with this paper 4. Now when we looked at the paper 4 last week, we found out that the purpose or the reason for the group discussion is to organize a career planning workshop. So we have to put together a workshop about planning for jobs for our students. And in the paper, it gave us 5 jobs to consider. It gave us 5 jobs to think about, to decide whether we want to introduce them or to recommend them to our students. And when we read the article, we found useful ideas and words, vocabulary that we can use in our group discussion. Now that we have the ideas and the vocabulary, we have to organize them in a note card, which we can take to our group discussion and use it. To help you organize your ideas, I gave you a table to use last time. Let's quickly go over the answers so that you have a completed note card to use in your group discussion. First, we will start with the purpose. It is important to remember why you are having a group discussion and refer your ideas, your discussion to this purpose. So the purpose for our group discussion is to organize a career planning workshop about jobs, and it is for our students. The article talked about 5 jobs. Number 1, a software developer. Number 2, a nurse. Number 3, a web developer. Number 4, a veterinarian, or a vet for short. And finally, the 5th job is a nutritionist. Now, in the article, it told us that a software developer designs apps, games, and computer systems like Android or iOS system. A nurse takes care of people's health, takes care of sick people, and makes sure that they get better. They work in emergency rooms, they work in school. I'm sure you know our school nurse. They also do office work. That's what a nurse does. As for a web developer, we learned that they design, code, and modify websites. Okay, if you remember, when you code a website, you use something to represent, to show information, right? Like a picture or a letter or a number. And when we modified websites, we change things on the website. We update it, for example, we'll be modifying a website. And a web developer works with the color of the website, the layout. Layout means how things are organized on the website, and images, pictures, videos, and things like that. What does a veterinarian do? What does a vet do? A vet takes care of animals. They also make sure that our food, the food that we eat, is safe. They protect the safety of our food supply. And finally, a nutritionist advises customer, give customer advice on what to eat, on food, and whether the food is good for you or not, is good for your health or not, whether they are nutritious or not. They give customers information about the nutrition of food. And they also develop meal plans. If you want to gain weight, what should you do? What should you eat? If you want to lose weight, what should you do? What should you eat? If you want to be healthier, what should you do and what should you eat? So from the article, we got this information about 5 different jobs. So in your group discussion, you can talk about which one of these jobs we want to introduce to our students. Which one of these jobs do you want to put in your workshop? After the ideas, we also have some vocabulary words that we can use. Words like responsibilities, which means the duties. Professional. And if you're trained to do something, you are professional. Apps, computer systems, websites, layout, user-friendly. User-friendly means it is easy for a computer user to use. Clerical. Clerical is the person who does office work, typing, word processing, filing, things like that. And nutrition. Nutrition is whether a food is good for you or not. Does it have vitamins? Does it have minerals? Does it have things that are good for our health? Okay, so a organized note card like this will really be helpful to you because you can easily refer to the ideas and words that you can use in a group discussion. So now that this is ready, and start practicing our group discussions. There are many ways that you can participate in a group discussion. One way is to start the discussion. Right? Don't wait for someone else to do it. You can start it yourself. When you start a discussion, there are 3 things that you should do. First, you need to greet or welcome your group members. And you can do that by saying simply, "Hi everyone." And then you have to make the topic and the purpose of your discussion, of the group discussion, clear. You can do that by saying, "We have to organize a career planning workshop for our students." And then before you finish, don't forget to ask for people's ideas. What kind of career should we talk about? So here is an example of what you should do and what you can say to start the discussion. So starting the discussion is one way to participate in a group discussion. Another way is to offer an idea or to suggest an idea. And there are 3 things that you need to do when you suggest or offer an idea. You have to first make it clear what the idea is. Make sure that people understand what the idea is. And you can do that by saying, "I think we should talk about being a vet." A vet being a veterinarian, an animal doctor, right? And then you should describe what a vet does a little bit and explain why you think this is a good idea. And you can do that by saying, "A vet takes care of sick animals. I know many students love animals and have pets. They will be interested in this job." There's a description and reason. And before you finish, always ask others to respond to your idea. "What do you think about my suggestion?" Or you can say, what do you think about my idea? All right, so this is an example of what you should do and what you can say to suggest an idea. Now, sometimes someone else will offer an idea and you can respond by agreeing or disagreeing with the idea. Let's start with agreeing with an idea. 3 things that you should do. Okay, first, you have to let people know that you are agreeing, and then you have to let people know that which idea you are agreeing with. Give a reason, explain why, and then you finish by asking others to respond. So what can you say? What should you say? Introducing students to the job of a vet is a good idea. So you show agreement here, and you tell us what the idea is. And your reason? It is an important job. In addition to caring for animals, a vet also makes sure our food is safe to eat. So that's the reason why you think the job of a vet is good to introduce to our students. And before you finish, what other jobs should we talk about in the workshop? So here you're asking other group members to respond to your ideas. So here an example of what you should do and what you can say, okay, when you agree with an idea. What about when you disagree with an idea? What should you do and what can you say? Just like with agreeing, you have to make your disagreements clear, and you have to make it clear which idea you are disagreeing with. You can do that by saying, I'm not sure about talking about the job of a vet. Give your reason, explain why you think that. It takes a long time and a lot of money to become a vet. Some students may not be able to do that. Before you finish, ask others to respond. You can say, don't you think so? So here an example of what you can say when you disagree with an idea. Alright, so far I have shown you 4 different ways of participating in a group discussion. Starting a conversation, starting the group discussion, suggesting your idea, agreeing, and disagreeing. Time for you to practice on your own. For this part of the practice, I will provide you with some phrases and expressions that you can use in your group discussion. Here, when you want to start the discussion, you can greet or welcome others by saying good morning or good afternoon all. Or you can say welcome everyone. Okay, when you make your topic and purpose clear, you can say our job today is to, or you can say we are meeting to. And when you want to ask people for their ideas, you can say, what would you suggest? Or can you offer an idea? And here are some expressions for you to choose from when you want to start a discussion. Alright, for suggesting an idea, let's use the web designer as an example. Okay, when you make the idea clear, you can say, I believe we should introduce the job of a web designer. Or you can say, it would be good to introduce the job of a web designer. Okay, and then you have to describe a little bit what a web designer does, and to give your reason why suggesting the job of a web designer is a good idea. This kind of job is what? interesting, exciting adjectives like that. And you can say, I suggested this job because it is a well-paying job, because it is a job that many students would like. Okay, so you can explain your reason that way. And before you finish, you can say, wouldn't you agree? Or would you agree? Or any disagreement? All right, so you have several choices here as to how to talk about your ideas. For agreeing, okay, when you want to show that you agree, or to make which idea you agree with, you can say, I think introducing the job of a web designer is a good idea or a good suggestion. Okay, or I like the idea of talking about a web designer. Okay, and then give your reason, explain why. A web designer works with websites, layout, colors, images, all of those things from your note cards. Okay? I like the idea because, right, so give your reason. Use your ideas from your note card. And when you finish, invite other people, ask other people to respond to you. What else can we talk about? Okay? Or you can say, how about another idea? It's important to do this because then you can keep the discussion going. Okay? You can continue the discussion to make sure that the discussion continues. And for disagreeing, okay, I'm not sure about a web designer. Okay? I disagree with talking about a web designer. And give you a reason why. I just like the idea because okay, the web designer is, the job of a web designer is whatever adjective, whatever idea you want to use, but you show that you disagree. And when you finish, okay, ask others to respond to your ideas. Don't you think so? You can say that. Or do you know what I mean? Okay, this way, people will have to respond to your ideas. So that's today's lesson. I hope you will take those expressions and practice on your own. Have a good week, and I'll see you next time.